continues between Dalton's mayor and the village's board of trustees after multiple members did not attend tonight's monthly meeting.
Pay attention to who bring all the drama to your community. Where all the hecklers that's storming in the crowd. They're not here today. Where everybody that got something to say when everybody else pissed off is giving their opinion.
The Tiffany Henyard saga is spiraling out of control, and it seems like people won't rest until she's behind bars. You're probably wondering, why hasn't she been arrested yet? Well, buckle up, because there's a whole web of drama, shady deals, and explosive secrets surrounding her, and things just took an unexpected turn. Get this. Her own lawyer has now dropped a bombshell during a highly controversial board meeting. But hold on, this wasn't just any ordinary meeting, it was a total explosion. Her most trusted legal advisor, the one who had always had her back, turned on her in a shocking way. They revealed jaw-dropping information that left the entire room in disbelief. The secrets that came to light could be the final nail in her coffin. So now that the truth is out, one major question still remains. Why is she still walking free? Let's break this absurd situation down and see how everything is set to come crashing down for the so-called super mayor.
Jumping ship. I never was on the ship, the jumping ship. Always been.
Dramatic meeting in Dalton leads to even more controversy, this time over a new hire.
Not only did Mayor Tiffany Henyard make the hire without consent from the board, we're learning tonight.
There's no denying it now. Tiffany Henyard has secured the services of two of the most notorious criminal defense attorneys in the nation. Attorneys who've handled some of the biggest cases out there. A strong defense is usually a smart move, but many are left scratching their heads. If Henyard maintains her innocence, why does she need such high-profile legal experts? One of her attorneys, Brindley, has a past that raises even more eyebrows. He's the same lawyer who defended R. Kelly's former manager in a case filled with serious allegations, including witness tampering and illicit activity. Despite securing an acquittal for his client, Brindley's methods have faced widespread criticism. Over the years, allegations have surfaced that he coached witnesses to lie, tampered with evidence, and even bribed officials, all in the name of winning cases. Though his tactics have sometimes been effective, they've raised serious ethical questions. The most infamous moment in Brindley's career came on September 3, 2015, when he faced 21 charges related to conspiracy and obstruction of justice. These accusations were tied to 6 federal cases in which he acted as a defense attorney. Prosecutors accused him of unethical practices, including witness tampering and trying to manipulate the legal process. Even after a long and grueling battle, the case left many doubting Brindley's credibility, and his reputation took a huge hit. Outside the courtroom, Brindley's actions haven't been much better. Several former clients have accused him of fraud, claiming he took their money without delivering the promised results. There are numerous complaints about how he misled clients, failed to perform proper evaluations, and left many feeling deceived. Despite the controversy surrounding her defense team, Henyard's decision to bring Brindley and another attorney, Ed McDavid, to a public meeting took an even more unexpected turn. Instead of focusing on the urgent issues at hand, the lawyers launched into an impassioned defense of Henyard. Brindley made bold, audacious statements, many of which were immediately questioned for being false. He tried to paint her as the only victim, shifting blame onto others in the community for the unrest. He claimed, for example, that the trustees didn't have the authority to call meetings and that the Open Meetings Act required a 10-day notice to cancel a meeting. In truth, the act only applies when a public body changes the schedule of its regular meetings. Perhaps the most controversial claim Brindley made was that the board had control over Henyard's appointment of Keith Freeman as village administrator. Video evidence, however, clearly showed that while a motion for Freeman's appointment was made, It was never seconded and, therefore, failed. Yet Henyard proceeded with the appointment anyway, despite the board's apparent disapproval. Furthermore, Henyard misrepresented Jason House's authority to sign checks. Contrary to Brindley's statements, the Cook County Circuit Court and the village rules both confirm that House was indeed authorized to sign checks. Instead of addressing these fundamental issues and providing a strong defense against the growing accusations, Brindley's claims about Henyard's personal lawyer halting specific actions were misleading. It's not up to Henyard's lawyers to make such decisions. The courts hold that power. With growing concerns about whether her defense team is genuinely focused on solving Henyard's legal problems, questions are rising about the effectiveness of her attorneys. As Henyard faces mounting legal challenges, it's becoming increasingly clear that her defense lawyers seem more focused on assigning blame than offering a solid defense. Henyard wasn't present at the meeting last week, but the Dalton trustees have continued their work in her absence. They met at the Doan Fieldhouse to discuss the village's financial future. One board member, Stanley Brown, received a warm welcome from the crowd as he addressed the public. Brown, an ally of Henyard, had not attended a recent special board meeting, making his appearance at this one even more significant. Some residents urged him to show up, while others advised against it. Brown, however, stated that he was there for all of Dalton's residents. This meeting came just a week after Henyard tried to hold an unofficial meeting without a quorum, naming a new village attorney and making appointments to key positions. Trustee Jason House quickly dismissed the meeting as unofficial, pointing out that those appointments were not approved by the board.
Regularly scheduled Board of Trustees meeting was canceled because there weren't enough trustees present. But Mayor Tiffany Henyard still showed up and appointed a new village administrator and a new village attorney.
As the village trustees strive to tackle the ongoing financial crisis in their community, Tiffany Henyard, the mayor of Dalton, finds herself at the center of a series of escalating scandals. These scandals, ranging from financial mismanagement to serious personal misconduct, have captured the attention of both political observers and the residents of Dalton. Many are now questioning the very leadership of their beleaguered mayor, as her actions and legal defense are under intense scrutiny. It's become increasingly uncertain whether she has the capacity to continue leading the town. At a recent trustee meeting, several critical issues were discussed, including the village's financial struggles and the possibility of more layoffs. With the village facing a dire financial situation, Trustee Jason House raised the possibility of further layoffs if the crisis worsens. One of the key issues during the meeting was a dispute with the village's bank, which had issued a 60-day notice due to signature discrepancies. The bank intervened after Henyard allegedly refused to sign numerous checks amounting to millions of dollars, prompting serious concerns about her handling of village finances. In response to these allegations of financial misuse, the trustees decided to temporarily suspend reimbursements for travel and meals for elected officials and staff members. But it wasn't just financial matters that sparked outrage. A growing number of residents have voiced their dissatisfaction with Henyard's leadership, even calling for her removal from office. While the trustees worked on crucial decisions, such as finalizing a new fireman's contract through 2027, they also took actions to address Henyard's failures, including placing a temporary ban on travel and meal reimbursements, changing check signing requirements, and issuing 18 business licenses that had been halted under her administration. The absence of Henyard at the meeting was palpable, and many residents and trustees were quick to express their frustration with her leadership style. Her lack of presence and influence in such a crucial moment highlighted her growing disconnect from the issues facing the village. One of the most glaring problems under Henyard's administration has been her handling of the village's finances. While Henyard acknowledged a $2 million budget gap, many trustees believe the true deficit is much higher. Her critics claim she's mismanaged public funds, leading to a budget shortfall far greater than what's been officially reported. To make matters worse, Henyard has refused to disclose key spending information, defying state transparency regulations. Adding fuel to the fire, Henyard's purported lavish spending has further worsened the village's financial woes. Investigations revealed that between July and November 2023, Henyard and her administration spent tens of thousands of taxpayer dollars on extravagant purchases, including luxury meals, high-end shopping sprees, and first-class flights. A particularly egregious example was her 5-day trip to Austin, Texas, which cost over $220,000 of taxpayer money. This included stays at expensive hotels, meals at upscale restaurants, and the purchase of designer riding gear. This wasteful spending has outraged locals, who are now questioning Henyard's ability to manage public finances effectively. But Henyard's financial mismanagement isn't her only source of controversy. She has also faced mounting criticism for her failure to address local business concerns, particularly regarding licensing issues. One such business, Lawrence Gardner's trucking company, was shut down in January 2023 for allegedly selling alcohol without a license. Gardner disputed the charges and won a court case in his favor, claiming that Henyard's administration unfairly targeted him, especially after he was asked to pay $3,500 to the village shortly after Henyard took office. Despite the growing pressure and controversy, Henyard has remained defiant. At a recent village board meeting, she accused her critics of launching a politically motivated smear campaign against her. She attempted to downplay the severity of the financial crisis, insisting that the accusations against her were politically driven. But her dismissive approach only fueled public outrage, which intensified further after she threw a lavish $85,000 party for the Taste of Thornton Township event. Despite the village's financial troubles, trustees later revealed that the deficit was far larger than Henyard had reported, contradicting her claim that it was under control. The event, which cost $50,000 and featured performances by R&B singer Keisha Cole and rapper Jay Holiday, was seen by many as an extravagant attempt to boost Henyard's image at the taxpayers' expense, especially in the midst of a budget crisis. The financial scandals surrounding Henyard have caused significant concern, but they're not the only issue. The lack of transparency, the questionable spending habits, and her apparent disregard for the village's fiscal health have left many residents wondering whether she can continue to hold office. With the political future of Dalton hanging in the balance, the question remains, is Henyard's time in office coming to an end, or will she find a way to regain control of the situation before it all falls apart? The fallout from Tiffany Henyard's tenure as mayor continues to deepen, with growing criticisms and fresh scandals unfolding almost daily. One of the more controversial aspects of the recent Taste of Thornton Township event was the choice of performers, which sparked a backlash from critics, including former Dalton trustee Valeris Stubbs, who called the event a failure due to its dismal attendance. Only about 70 people showed up. This event, which was already a point of contention, is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Henyard's administration. Since January 2023, Henyard's administration has been under intense scrutiny, with multiple investigations into the alleged misuse of public funds for personal gain. In just the first 5 months of 2023 alone, Henyard and her team racked up over $67,000 in charges to township credit cards, covering out-of-town trips to New York, Atlanta, and Portland. These lavish expenditures have raised serious concerns about her handling of taxpayer money, fueling the growing distrust surrounding her leadership. But it's not just Henyard who's in the hot seat. Her inner circle is facing increasing scrutiny as well. Keith Freeman, one of Henyard's top aides, has also become a central figure in the growing controversy. Despite being accused by federal prosecutors of bankruptcy fraud, Freeman continues to work for Henyard both in Dalton and in Thornton Township, where she holds significant influence. His close ties to Henyard and frequent defense of her actions have only heightened suspicions of corruption within the administration, further tainting its already tarnished reputation. The situation took an even darker turn in April 2024 when a civil lawsuit was filed against Henyard and a village trustee, alleging sexual assault during a work trip to Las Vegas. The lawsuit, filed by a former assistant, claims she was drugged and assaulted following a dinner with the trustee. The accusations have raised grave concerns, and the case details have shocked the public, adding even more weight to the growing pile of legal and ethical issues plaguing Henyard's administration. To make matters worse, Officer Brian Miles, a member of Henyard's $1 million security team, has filed a separate complaint, further complicating the case. Despite these serious allegations and ongoing legal battles, Henyard has remained steadfast in defending her actions, dismissing the accusations as politically motivated attacks. She even went so far as to claim that the trustee involved boasted about the assault during a FaceTime conversation, a claim that has only added fuel to the fire.